Yes guys, and welcome to another video, and we have yet another here we go from none other than Fabrizio Romano. Now I know full well that every here we go doesn't necessarily result in an absolute definite signing, but we do have a here we go from Fabrizio Romano nevertheless for this striker here, which we will get into in just a second. But first and foremost, can you do me a massive favour and hit the like button on the video? It really does help out. It's so appreciated, and I know over the last sort of few weeks, particularly with all the transfers coming in and all the updates I've been doing for you guys, we have had a new batch of subscribers in, which I'm really appreciative of, and I've kind of stopped asking for you to subscribe at the beginning of videos anyway in the last few, and it has started to slow down. But if you are someone who is enjoying and you're not yet subscribed, if you do consider it for me, it is massively appreciated. I'll do my absolute best when possible to bring the updates as quick as I can for you. Obviously when I'm at work and doing other things, I'm not physically capable of doing so, but I will do as soon as humanly possible. And also something I very rarely mention, or at least I think I've mentioned once on the channel, if you would like to be a channel member to help out and support the channel, that'd also be stupidly appreciated. It really does help out. But anyway, enough of that waffle, let's get into it. So Fabrizio Romano has just given us the here we go on this man here, Marc Guiu. I believe that's how you say his name, not just Guiu, it's like Guiu. I actually saw a clip, it was a YouTube short of himself pronouncing his name to Chelsea fans when he first signed, so fans knew how to pronounce his name, and I'm sure he said Marc Guiu, so that's what I'm going to go for at the moment. I'm sure that someone will try and correct me in the comments, but that's what I heard. Alright, but he is a striker, 19 years of age. Again, it's yet another player that I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know an absolute colossal amount on, but it is an exciting one nevertheless. He's a young lad, and I know, like a lot of you guys, I was similar in the thinking of, if we were to bring a striker in, I would absolutely, or at least I would have preferred, in general, I would have liked a striker that had a lot more senior experience, not even necessarily have an insane goal record, but someone who had a lot of experience at the highest level. That would have been nice, that would have been preferable. But that doesn't mean that this one lowers my excitement, because it absolutely doesn't, because there's absolutely a player in there. From what I've seen, from what Chelsea fans have been saying in response and the reactions to this, a lot of them have said, you know, they want him to crack on, do a job, but they absolutely want him back at Chelsea. It is a loan deal, according to Fabrizio Romano. He came up as a youth player through the Barcelona ranks, and then he signed for Chelsea last season. I think it was last summer. They paid about €6 million for the lad. Then last season, he featured in little bit parts here and there. I don't think he got too much Premier League experience. However, they did use him quite a bit in the Europa Conference League. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that the quality of opposition in the Europa Conference League isn't generally incredible, with no disrespect to anyone, but when he did play, he actually got himself a hat-trick in one of those games. Now, the type of player, from doing a little bit of research that I have done, he's very physical. He is your sort of typical number 9. I know that the Barcelona past, you might be thinking tricks, skills and all that kind of stuff, which I'm sure he's capable of, but from the highlight reel, the small highlight reel I have seen, he's very much someone who can use his physical prowess. He can use his body well. He won't shy away from a battle. He's not someone who's going to, you know, be weak or scared of those kind of challenges, because we are going to come up against some real high-level, elite-level physical defenders. And yes, he's only 19, but I would love to see him flourish. And that's not to say I don't want to see Maenda in there as well. Isidore, I think Isidore could do a job, personally, myself. You know, when he's on form, given the service, if Lafay is given the opportunity to play those ball in behind, it doesn't matter what defender you are. With Wilson's speed and his movement off the ball, which he's constantly trying to do, he's constantly trying to push behind that line, I think he will cause problems even for Premier League defences, but it's just how often we can do it in the Premier League, given the opposition, the quality of opposition we're coming up against. But yeah, so Marc Guiu, I'm going to say Guiu, he is the player that we are currently being linked with. I will put up on screen the Fabrizio Romano tweet itself. Now, it does say, exclusive Sunderland agreed deal to sign Marc Guiu on loan from Chelsea. Here we go. Deal in place for straight loan. No buy option clause in Guiu. Remains part of Chelsea's long-term plans. Salary covered by SAFC, as he'll be an important striker for Labree's plans. So, as it shows there, which does give me a lot of confidence, is, like I said, that Chelsea, they absolutely deem him a part of their future, and there is absolutely a player in there. So I think to come to us, of course, a team just come up from the Premier League, like I said, preferably I would have liked to see someone with a lot more experience, but a player that is absolutely deemed to be a part of Chelsea's future. You can't be that high up the pecking, not high up the pecking order, but someone who's held in such high esteem. You don't get that kind of feeling from a club if you're not very good. Do you know what I mean? Particularly from a team like Chelsea, who deem him to be part of their plan. So I am very, very excited about this one. I am. I'm going to keep on repeating myself. I would have liked someone a little bit different, preferably, but now I've kind of wrapped my mind around it and the idea of it and his physicality, the way he'll be in this league. And a lot of these games, we're probably not going to be allowed too much possession, and it will be a real physical battle. And if he's up for it, and he is the physical lad that I have been told, or at least I have researched, then I think he could absolutely play a part this season. Whether we will actually go in for another striker, potentially, who will have that sort of experience that he alluded to, that remains to be seen. But Marc Guiu, he is the next here we go that we have had from Fabrizio Romano. Now, as things stand, we haven't officially signed the keeper Roofs at the moment from NEC. There has been pictures leaked, similarly to the pictures that were leaked about Jacques a day or two before he signed. A picture has been leaked of him holding up a Sunderland shirt and doing all of his social media pictures and what have you. So I'm expecting that to be announced any moment now. I probably won't have time to do a video on that one, but just know that it is very, very likely to happen unless we do get another Loriente situation where something creeps up last moment. There has been the odd rumour again here and there. I'm trying to fill you in on everything before I wrap up the video. Of course, John Lassimi. There's a lot of coverage, particularly abroad and from European outlets, suggesting that we have offered 25 million euros for him, but we are competing with, I think, Atletico and maybe a Turkish side as well in there, like a Galatasaray or a Fenerbahce or someone like that. We're also linked with him as well. But whether the Premier League will be a bigger pull for him, that remains to be seen. But for me, I think the defensive areas at the minute are probably our priority. A couple of centre-backs, absolutely, and a full-back. I think we need another winger to cover. Of course, we've got Mundell, who will come back from injury eventually, but that's going to be long term. Of course, on that left side, we've got Adingra. The right side, we have Talby and we have Roberts. Whether Roberts is going to feature much this season, that again remains to be seen. But I think with Talby, yes, I know we've paid out a small fortune for him. I think he's going to need that sort of bedding in time a little bit. I think he will start a lot of games, but I think to have someone else to compete with him on a real high level would be fantastic. So it offers us another option to rotate. But yeah, for me, defensively is absolutely where we need to prioritise at the moment. But one more thing, which is a really, really nice touch from the club. And I love how the club is being run behind the scenes at the moment. And as you know, if you have watched me for a long time, I've absolutely had my qualms with the club over a lot of things. And I will call them out on the shit, but I, of course, will always give them their dues, their flowers when I think they do need praising. Behind the scenes, I think there's been murals in the concourses at the stadium, and today they have unveiled the Jimmy Montgomery stand, which is an absolutely fitting tribute for a legend of the game. Not just of the game, but for Sunderland as well. A true Sunderland legend. So, yeah, a nice way to round up the video anyway. So, I'll leave it there. What do you guys think of the potential signing of this fella here? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you've enjoyed, hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. But for now, how are the lads? Keep the faith.